is Penn State no longer attractive?
Ooh.
Yeah. I thought about this for about 3 hours after while I was trying to get my YouTube channel back. But yeah.
Penn State ain't what it used to be. I know that. I tell you, and Alabama was the last straw that broke the camel's back there. That was Joe Paz. That was my second start of my career.
Yeah, T-Rich told that story.
At Penn State, went up there. They were all hyped up, supposed to be good. And that was Joe Paz's last game he ever coached.
Damn.
They took the L and then took the L as the university too. And it kind of fell off after that. So
I had to tell some beat writer for Penn State who came at me on Twitter yesterday. I said, "You're a fucking nobody, by the way." And I said, "Nobody wants to deal with your soapy fucking showers, and you're in denial." And that's the fact of the matter. Like, they did James Franklin, in my opinion, wrong, and they thought the grass was greener somewhere else. To Shaun's point, and the grass is still brown. And this is the difference we talked about earlier. Like, man, it sure matters when you miss. Like, they're not showing that to Lane Kiffin. They're showing, like, get the fuck out. They're missing James Franklin right now while he whips everybody's ass at Virginia Tech in recruiting so far through 2 weeks. So, I don't know. I think it matters. I think Penn State dug a hole so deep, and I think CAA and Shaun King leading that barrage has literally kept people from interviewing there, is from what I've heard.
Damn.
So that's the truth, AJ.
So
that's the truth.
Let me speak on it. First of all, shout out to Jimmy Sexton. I need a job. JB paying slave wages over here. I'm going to put a PSA out there to all but, let's say,
better call James.
Hey, listen, I'm going to put a PSA out there for all but maybe 4 schools. Because of the proliferation of TV rights money, everybody's got a bag, meaning every school has a bag. They can pay. The one thing that schools like Penn State have to come to grips with is unrealistic expectations. Hey, in the coaching fraternity, the one thing that I don't think people know, they all know who can really coach and who can really recruit. And they know there's not going to be a better recruiter at Penn State than James Franklin. And they know he was in the college football semifinals last year. And y'all overreacted to being overranked in the preseason and fired a really good head coach. Because now the money don't matter, Penn State, because people can match what y'all going to offer. But who wants to take that job and think that we could make the college football semifinal and potentially be fired mid-season of next year? A lot of these programs have unrealistic expectations. Guys, winning 9+ games every other year, that's a really good head coach. That's hard to do.
It is, but there's got to be the hypocritical stances on that need to change. I'm talking nationally. And what I mean is, there's a guy out here next to me who's about as mediocre. Mediocrity is the new excellence, but this motherfucker's about as mediocre as you could be. And his name's Lincoln Riley. And I'm just going to tell you straight out, SC wins 9 games a year too. And why ain't he fired, but James is? See, I find hypocrisy in this to be crazy when Matt Leinart comes out and says, USC went 9-3 this year, and now they're off to a hot start on signing day. The number 1 class for 26 is incoming. There will be high expectations next year. Hey, Matt, there's been high expectations since Pete Carroll left. You fuckers are shitty. Alabama whacked your ass in Texas and fucking, 4 years ago to start the season. It didn't even look like you belonged out there. You fucking haven't won a meaningful game since Pete Carroll left. Like, seriously, not a meaningful game you've won. And this guy keeps his job, but James got fired? Hell no. There's 9 wins Lincoln Riley every year, Shaun. I don't see getting rid of him.
The only pushback I would give you, and see, this is where me and you differ, is I'm not emotional and you are. He's had a Heisman.
I just make the show go. Go ahead.
He's had a Heisman winner since he's been at USC. He lost him. He missed.
No, he doesn't. No, he hasn't.
Caleb Williams won the Heisman, didn't he?
He brought Caleb. You got to stop with this narrative. You got to stop with the narrative that he developed him. He didn't.
He did. He had him in Oklahoma.
No, he didn't. He
did.
How many quarterbacks has Lincoln Riley developed that he did not get out of the portal? Go.
No, he recruited Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams to Oklahoma.
Spencer, did he play?
Yes, Spencer Rattler was a starter, and then he benched him for Caleb Williams.
And he left.
Then he brought Caleb with him to SC. You got to give him credit for that. Secondly, listen, they showed improvement this year. So this is why I think the signing class ranking, I don't always get into that because there's no way you can rank high school kids. And just on a tangent right quick, there is nobody at On3 or 247 who's watched every high school right guard in America. So to tell me you're going to rank them, like, get out of here. There's just too many high school kids.
I'm with you on that.
Secondly, they beat Michigan this year. They made strides in the conference. To me, next year's the year where either he's got to really be competing for a Big Ten title or a college football playoff berth, or I would start asking questions.
It's 5 years. How many fucking years he get? We're firing dudes after 2 years. This motherfucker gets 5-6 years in LA?
I just talked about unrealistic expectations.
Let me tell you how shitty he is. AJ, this motherfucker has Caleb Williams. He comes in there and he opts out. AJ, he opts out of the fucking bowl game because he's so fucking special and fragile. And this white kid goes in who Lincoln didn't recruit and broke the goddamn school record in a bowl game, 6 touchdowns. So tell me how great Lincoln is with quarterbacks. The motherfucker that he recruited opted out, and he's been a fucking bitch since. And the white kid goes in who he didn't recruit and throws 6 fucking touchdowns and breaks the record.
So now Caleb Williams is the first quarterback.
I cooked you. Rest of the show. You're cooked. Go ahead.
Caleb Williams is the first quarterback to opt out of a bowl game.
No, but what I'm telling you is no. We're talking Lincoln Riley specifically.
But that's not a Lincoln Riley problem.
Whose fault is it then?
This fight or flight has permeated the entirety of collegiate sports and pro sports. Kids are fleeing.
Oh, I get it. I told you that.
Me and AJ are built from a different wiring system. Like, I would never abandon my brothers. Like, getting injured is a part of football. I get injured preparing for the combine.
Yeah, but we're before that. We're before the era.
I'm saying these kids ain't built like, well, the majority of these kids not built like that. That ain't a Lincoln problem.
No, well, first of all, I would never allow it.
If you want to get mad at somebody, talk to Caleb's parents.
Hold on, let me ask you something. AJ.
No,
would Nick Saban allow it?
No, listen. If Lil Shaun, God willing, if Lil Shaun is good enough to play college football, he can be back-to-back Heisman winner. He gonna finish the race every year.
Let me answer that real quick, AJ. If people ask me every day, would you ever coach again? If I did, I'm doing it my way still, is what I say. And I say that because I'm either going to coach it or allow it. I'm not going to go in here and cater to these kids and say, I'm going to opt out, coach. Well, then you're cut. Like, going into the motherfucker, you're all in or all out. Like, I don't think Pete Carroll's, if he coached college, would allow a guy to sit out. I don't think Nick Saban would allow a guy to sit out of a fucking bowl game or a playoff. I don't think any Urban Meyer, those guys want to play for those guys because what? They get them to the NFL. So I don't think you're going to sit out. Lincoln allows it.
That's allowed. They can't not allow a kid to do anything. They can say, if you sit out, then AJ, your face ain't good at Alabama no more. But they can't make the kid play.
The biggest issue, and I've said this a couple of times, I think to kind of bring it all back to the original question, I think the preseason polls is the biggest bullshit in all of college football.
100%.
Because you have people that are voting on this and projecting these teams to be good that don't even know the game of football. I mean, it was earlier in the year we had I'm not bashing
Condoleezza Rice
women, but she voted on Florida to be in the top 10 or whatever, and she didn't even realize it was South Florida, right? Yes. Like we're talking crazy nonsense, and it's not just her. There's men that do the same thing that are allowed. So they're allowed to build these teams up in the offseason so it can create money and clicks and everything. And then it's getting dudes fired, good coaches, a la James Franklin, right? Getting good coaches fired because you got idiots that are building these teams up that don't really know what these teams are about. and don't understand. So therefore they put this expectation out there for these fan bases to believe, and a lot of these fan bases don't know what the hell they're talking about, right? And so they jump on the bandwagon and believe all this hype, and then all of a sudden, when shit goes bad, they're like, "Oh, fire him!" Like after 2 games, like you forget everything James Franklin brought back to the University of Penn State. Like that's the issue. All the years that you had the those files going on and all the drama happening, and then all of a sudden it takes you years to get back to that standpoint of, you know, Penn State having some rank in college football, and then you just kick them to the wayside. Like it's unbelievable. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I agree. The problem is, like, we got these guys that are the same boat as women. The guys on this thing, like these 2 guys we showed with Bomani Jones yesterday, 2 fucking nobodies. They get on there and they're talking about who a head coach looks like, and that is no way that this guy, because of his haircut, can be a head coach. And I'm just like, this is the people that have a platform that talk this crazy nonsense. Just like the broad that chose South Florida and all that shit. Make me a sandwich. Like, yeah, I'm so fucking tired of this shit. I mean, make me a sandwich.